Hello, welcome to the Physique Mastery Podcast. This is Scott Tuzina along with Brian Cron. Today, we're going to be discussing kind of, I guess you could say, the all or none approach that we've been seeing a lot with people who are just kicking off on getting decided, like, all right, new year, new me. I'm finally going to start taking charge of my physique. Maybe they were former athletes in the past and just want to get back to that vibe. Or they've been kind of training all along and they just really want to step up to the next level. Oftentimes you find that when people are just all amped up to start a new plan, it's kind of all about perfection, and you find they set the bar so freaking high that it's very easy to set themselves up for disappointment and not much opportunity to set yourself up for celebrating victories on a consistent basis. So Brian and I, not to come off as setting the bar low, we don't want to be too soft and mushy on people, but we prefer to kind of set a moving bar where you stack those victories on top of each other, and that bar gradually moves, much like in the Olympics. If you're going to be doing a high jump or pole vault, it's not like they start at the highest point, let's try to break the Olympic record. They start at a manageable thing, and yes, some people pass on that. I'm good enough, I can start a little bit higher, but it's always a moving bar that you're trying to build up upon. So a lot of this stems from conversations that we've been having with our clients for the past couple of weeks as they've been setting some pretty big, ambitious goals and either getting back into the game or stepping up their game in this new year. So Brian, you want to share some of your experiences or just kind of thoughts on this topic of setting yourself up for victories and less beating yourself up, I guess, when you fuck up, because fucking up is inevitable.
Yeah, it definitely is inevitable. And we talk a lot about habits and processes that you should try to nail every day, because they'll eventually get you to that goal that everyone wants to achieve. Maybe not on the timetable that you've set, but you'll eventually get there. And that's great advice, but sometimes just executing those habits, it's not always easy. It's rarely easy. It takes a concerted effort, and especially if you have a lot going on, and we all do in our personal lives, you're going to miss something. You're gonna forget your lunch, or you're gonna be whatever. Something's gonna happen. You can't make it to the gym, or and these things can very, very quickly kind of torpedo your confidence, especially when you first get going. And this time of year, I get a lot of new people, and we get a lot of new people, and everyone's very motivated, and they even got the best of intentions and a really good plan. Once the bullets start flying and life kicks in, it's hard to hit all these targets, and it can be very discouraging, especially if you're kind of a type A person and you're used to succeeding at stuff, and you go about this process, and you very quickly learn that it's not that easy. It takes a lot of concerted effort, especially at first, until it becomes second nature.
Right.
And that's, and even I took some time off over Christmas, and even this week, just getting back into it, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot this. I missed a workout the other day because my day fell apart. And it can very, very quickly kind of undermine your confidence and make you start questioning the plan, or worse, start questioning whether you've got the competency to even do it. So there's some stuff that, we try to tell our people that to just kind of reinforce them, and not basically to learn to fail fast, and to kind of forget about things that went wrong,
right.
And just keep pushing forward, doing the best you can.
Mm-hmm. It's so cliche. You hear it all the time. Focus on progress, not perfection. And I really like that fail fast. You're gonna make mistakes. We all do. I still make them constantly. But you fail, you learn from the experience, you move on, and you improve. So it's one thing if you set the plan up for a client or for yourself. This is what I'm going to eat every day. This is what I'm going to train every day. And you fuck up, and you're like, son of a bitch. Like someone brings in, if you're in a workplace and someone brings in food, snacks, my daughter, my biggest thing I have to deal with is my daughter loves to bake brownies and cookies. It'll be random, just when I want to freaking dial things in, she's making bread. But I gotta have a brownie. I can't hold that. But the thing is, it's one thing that happens. give yourself, and all right, I fucked up, whatever, I can move on. And the next week she does it again, like, oh fuck, I gotta have a brownie. You can't just keep doing it week after week. You've got to kind of learn from the experience and see, like, how can I handle that better the next time.
Yeah, and it's but you never want to set a low bar for yourself. And like, whenever I see coaches kind of like, just do the best you can, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I just want to throw myself down the stairs. I mean, I just hate that. I mean, like, people need to be pushed a little bit, a little bit beyond your comfort zone, and then gradually keep extending that comfort zone and keep, forcing yourself to do a little bit better. And it's amazing how quickly, you can adapt. Even like old curmudgeonly people like me, like, we can slowly adapt and learn things, and you just can't set this low, weak ass bar. Yeah. But at the same time, it's good to set a high bar, but just kind of expect that, I'm probably going to screw this up this week, and right. Next week I'll probably screw up something again, and just kind of have faith that over time those screw ups are going to become, less and less, or fewer and fewer, pardon me, and you keep moving forward.
Yeah. I agree, and I'm getting there. Like I said, decades in this game, and still, I mean, when I look back at how I was 7 years ago, when I initially went through the transformation, dropped over 50, 60 pounds, I struggled mentally. I was an all or none person there. I was like, I had to eat perfect, and when I binged, it was beat myself up. I fucked up. Might as well eat more. I'm gonna start tomorrow. As soon as I gave myself permission to start tomorrow, I was like, well, I might as well just fucking chow down as much as I can right now. And that continued. I did that fucking cycle for a while, and then finally realized the conversations in my head how I was justifying that excess. It was as soon as I realized that. As soon as I gave myself permission to start again tomorrow, it opened the floodgates. So rather than being aware, like, oh, there we go, I caught myself. Yeah, I fucked up, but I can stop it right here and start again right now. I don't have to wait till tomorrow. And just little things like that. When I go out with the guys on Friday nights, I had a tendency to overindulge more than I would like to, and slowly just becoming aware of when I get to that point where I'm full, not over full, but satisfied, and like pushing beyond that just seems stupid and pointless. I'm not, once in a while, sure, but I've really learned to control my portion sizes, I guess, overall, and everything. It's just, I'm getting better at stopping myself before I become overfull on times. It's a lifelong practice, and I think that's the beauty of this journey. It's like we're constantly learning in the gym. We talked last time about exercise selection. I mean, decades into this, and we're learning new exercises all the time. We're learning how to become more connected with our body during our workouts, but there's so much to learn about. I mean, the thoughts that are going through our minds constantly in regards to food, training, and lifestyle, everything. It's so easy to talk ourselves out of things and into things. And, awareness is key, I guess, with all of this.
Well, and it's amazing what you can rationalize, especially once you get a little bit of knowledge. And I still do this all the time. Try not to. Just, I'll have something around the house that I really enjoy eating. God forbid my wife makes apple crisp or something, because I'll eat the whole freaking pan. And even though I'll start rationalizing it. Well, I'm carrying all this muscle, I could get away with more. It's just total bullshit. And it's just, granted, as you get older, you start to realize how utterly stupid that is. But you can rationalize these things. So that's 100%.
It happens all the time. It happened to me on Saturday. It was like, I just put in. You had a great post in the Physique Mastery Mecca. In our Facebook group there, you're talking about how, all right, it was at the end of the weekday, starting the weekend. It's like, all right, a lot of us have put in a great week right now. If you feel like you need a reward and you want it, okay, like have it. If you feel like you don't need it, then don't have it. It's just really becoming aware of those things. And like for myself on Saturday, after dinner was so freaking good, Angie made a nice chicken parmesan casserole, and second helping, third helping, and the floodgates were open for me. But I found myself rationalizing it that I put in 6 solid days of eating. It was perfect. So I justified it. Yeah, I guess I do need a refeed today. It's so funny how I can talk myself into, I probably earned this refeed here. But the same thing was kind of happening on, I think it was Wednesday. It was leg day. We crushed legs. And it's funny, like, my appetite, I found my appetite's higher on after a leg workout. And it's easy to go, well, fuck, I just crushed legs. I earned this. My body probably needs it. It's my body telling me these intense hunger and increased appetite is my body's way of telling me, eat. I'm like, fuck. So I ate my normal portion size. And it was enough. I'm like, man, if I was just listening to the thoughts in my head, I would have just kept chowing down. But stopped myself, and I'm like, I'm satisfied. I don't need it anymore. But it's so true how we can rationalize things is it's unbelievable.
I always say, like, listening to your body, that's a dangerous game. I mean, it's a wonderful skill to acquire, but I proceed with caution. Let somebody else listen to it for you. I always say it works much better. But that's actually interesting. I remember when I made that post, but Friday is a great example. People get to Friday and they're like, well, I had this week of pretty good dieting. Like, can I have a cheat meal? Or they ask, should I have a cheat meal? And as I've worked with more people, I'm kind of like, well, how about we just keep going? And if a cheat meal occurs, well, if just things, you're out and you watch the Vikings win yet again, and and you feel, and it's just, that's the environment, and you start, you have a bona fide cheat meal. Well, there it is. It happened. Rather than, kind of planning. Planning has its place. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's best to just keep rolling and just let things occur. Especially as you're getting going.
We've talked in the past how life usually presents you with opportunities to deload, take a break from the gym. It's the same thing with cheat meals. Chances are something's going to come up where there's going to be excess and you're going to want to indulge in the excess. Why not save it for those times? I can't tell you how many times I've been in a position where, all right, today was a scheduled cheat meal. I did it. Tomorrow I go out, and then tomorrow it's a regular day and someone calls, hey, let's go. I'm like, fuck, I had a cheat meal yesterday. I can't do it today. So it's just kind of planning for those opportunities. If you have no social life or anything and those opportunities never present themselves, then
right here,
sure, schedule in those refeeds here and there. But for most of us, I think they do kind of present themselves naturally.
So it's kind of like it's not embarking on this process knowing hoping to fail, but it's kind of it's like expecting that the first few weeks you won't be able to be a robot. You're going to screw up here and screw up there and make, go off course here, and just still see it as screw ups. Like, I hate it when people rationalize everything or keep giving themselves a break. Like, own it. Say, wow, I screwed that one up. But just keep going, and occasionally look at your progress. Like that calendar trick where you just make an X through every day where you hit your diet and your training, and and only one line if you have a day where you only trained and didn't diet properly. And just over the course of a month, you want to see a string of X's in a row. Like little things like that, they can really, really help your motivation in the long term. So
something so simple, having that visualization and it shows you see, like, fuck, I'm doing, in the big picture, I'm doing pretty good, because it's so easy in the moment when you're focused on that one little fuck up. You're like, completely, how come I can't do this? How come I can't stick with this? I'm like, look at what you've been doing, like X, all right, one little fuck up. Who cares? Move on, and then next week you see, like, there's only one fuck up instead of 2 fuck ups, and it gets less and less, and and then some weeks you're still gonna have more fuck ups than not, but in the big picture, you're always striving to be better. That comes from, like you said, owning it. Own that. I fucked up. It's on me. It's not on the diet I'm following or the training. I fucked up. What can I learn from this experience and move on?
Are you sure you got enough F-bombs? We're going to be like rated X by iTunes.
There's lots of Fs. It starts with the
Well,
Four-letter F words in the house today.
Hey man, well, I guess if the president could call countries shitholes, we could call dietary discretions fuck ups. So that's there we go.
Very true. Very true.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Very good. I think it's an important topic this time of year to just like you said, set the bar high enough. You want to give yourself, you want to push yourself, challenge yourself, but if you don't hit that bar, like even the best. If I want to use the freaking high jump things, like there's some guys who they can hit some serious high jumps, but as they're working themselves up, there's times they still knock that bar over. So it's okay wherever you have that bar set. If you screw up that day, it's all right, but you better freaking move on and just keep pushing yourself forward. Just keep picking yourself up and going. Yeah. Last thing you want to do is dwell on the fuck up. Just quickly learn from it and move on and go from there. Realize that we're all not perfect, but we're always striving to be a bit better each and every time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on.
Boom.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Physique Mastery Podcast. Catch you next time.